Here we go. Welcome back. It's week 17, baby.
And I'm back. I'm
Yes.
here. I'm back. We got the in-person video this time.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
crazy, and the video quality is a lot better. We actually
Yeah.
got a real camera.
Let's see if we can show you what it used to look like real quick. Oh no.
So glad it's working.
Hold on. Why is the. Okay, integrated camera.
So glad it's working.
Alright, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
That's
This is what it was.
This is what it was. And here's where we're at now.
Oh wow, that is a little insane. Get rid of that. And here it is now.
Technical difficulties.
And here it is now.
We're still working on it.
And here it is now.
It doesn't even say that it's connected.
And here it is now. And here it is now.
This is what we're working with
let's
now.
go.
There we go.
Let's
Look how much better that is.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
We're gonna have to cut a little bit of that out.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
cow.
gonna get cut. All right. Anyways, starting up with week 17. Hope everybody's Christmas went well.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are still enjoying the company of your families coming into New Year's. And if not, hope you are enjoying the festivities in a safe fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. Very
know.
safe.
Yes.
Super. Yeah.
It's a very exciting holiday, so don't go too crazy.
Yeah. New Year's Eve. Wow.
Oh yeah,
2024 coming up.
that's crazy.
Playoffs coming up. New Year coming up. Dude, this is. Year flew by like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Flew by quick.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of playoffs, let's quickly go over the current standings. In the AFC, we have the Ravens. They've clinched a wild card. They have not clinched their division yet. It is still possible for the Browns to sneak in the 1. And then in the 2, we have the Dolphins, who have also clinched the wild card. But there's a chance that the Bills can take over. And then the Chiefs are in the 3. The Jags are in the 4. Each of those are the current division leaders. And then 5, we have the Browns. 6, we have the Bills. 7, we have the Colts. And then the teams that are eliminated in the AFC are the Jets in 13, Titans in 14, Chargers in 15, and Patriots at the bottom, 16th.
Ooh, 4-11. That's a tough record.
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah.
And then over on the NFC side of things, we have 49ers in the 1. They have clinched their division. The Eagles in the 2. They've clinched a wild card, but the Cowboys are on their tail. The Lions in the 3, they've clinched their division. And then in 4th, we have the Bucks. And then 5, 6, and 7 are the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Seahawks. And then eliminated in the NFC are the Giants at 13, Commanders at 14, 15 is the Cardinals, and 16 is the Panthers at 2 and 13. They are the worst team in the league.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
Rough season for those guys. But with that, we'll get into what needs to happen for the teams coming up if they want to make the playoffs, and kind of a quick little discussion about their games this weekend. So we'll kick things off with tonight's game, Thursday Night Football. We have the Jets at the Browns. The Jets odds are 280, and the Browns is minus 355 for the money line. The wheel has picked the Browns, and then the spread is Browns minus 7.5.
Okay. All right. So first up, we have the Jets. They're 6-9. Nice. Already eliminated, sitting 3rd in the AFC East. Means this game carries minimal weight for the Jets. As Bills fans, sitting here, he's got the sweatshirt on. We want the Jets to win this game, but I think we kind of all know how this game's going to play out. It kind of depends, if the Jets are coming in wanting that draft pick, are they going to come into the game playing their backups and not lose on purpose, but go closer to losing.
Yeah.
And if they really wanted to screw over the AFC East, all their 2 rivals, the Bills and the Dolphins, they would need to lose this game to keep the Browns in the 5 seed. So that would bump the Browns up to 11-5, which is like absolutely insane considering the amount of injuries they've had this year. So yeah, it's gonna kind of be a weird game for the Jets. It just really depends on what they're going for. Do they want to screw up the rest of their rivals, or do they want to help other teams and kick the Browns down a spot?
Yeah, and then on the Browns side of things, they're 10-5, as mentioned. They're second in the AFC North. They're currently at no risk of losing their wild card spot, but they could potentially drop to the sixth if they do lose this weekend. Last week we talked about a potential division title, which still is possible if the Browns win the next two and the Ravens lose the next two. But they still need to make the playoffs, so they have to win out regardless.
Yep.
Just a little bit of odds in their favor if the Ravens lose out in week 17 and 18.
Yep.
Yep.
And I will say I have a little something here about how the Browns can get their 1 seed. Okay, so I don't know. CBS Sports decided to put this up. So first things first, they must win out the rest of the season. Beat the Jets, beat the Bengals, and they'll need some help. The Ravens must lose out. They must lose to the Dolphins and the Steelers. And the Browns win the AFC North on the tiebreaker. And they need these exact results from Miami. Baltimore winning, Buffalo losing. And therefore, Browns get the 1st seed, which is
insane.
I mean, they need so much to go their way, and chances are all these teams are playing for a position in the playoffs besides the Ravens and the Dolphins, which are the only 2 teams that have clinched the playoffs so far that play each other this weekend. So I don't see the Browns getting the 1st seed, but there's a chance. So keep an eye on that for this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be slim, but you never know. And then wrapping that up, we'll move into the Saturday game.
Who are you picking?
Oh, shoot. Who are we picking? I mean, as a Bills fan, I want the Jets to win, but I think the Browns are going to walk away with this one.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I don't think the Browns are going to give that up. I really don't. That's a game that they should win.
They're not going to give up their 5 seed, so
yeah,
they may as well get the highest score that they can.
Right.
Or like the highest ranking that they can going into the playoffs. Yeah. Okay, now that we're wrapping that up, into the Saturday game, which is technically the Monday night game.
Correct, yeah, because there's no Monday night.
Yeah, because it got moved over.
Correct.
For the holiday.
Yep. And because of the college football playoffs.
And that.
There's a ton of bowl games that day.
That's right, that's right. So I guess we'll get into Monday Night Football on Saturday. On Saturday. We have the Lions at the Cowboys. The Lions' money line is plus 205, and for the Cowboys, it's minus 250. The wheel has chosen the Lions, and then the spread is minus 6 for Dallas. Real quick about the wheel pick. Yes, the Lions are the underdog, but the Monday night games are on like a 7-game streak of the underdogs winning. So
that's right. I did see that. Yeah.
It's not a terrible pick. But that does put a lot of pressure on the Lions now that they're the underdog on a Monday Night Football game.
Right.
But the Lions are 11-4, and their win over the Vikings last week means that they have clinched the NFC North Division title for the first time in 30 years, which is awesome for them. That's really exciting to see. And then with the 49ers loss to the Ravens on Monday night, the 1 seed is now within reach of this team if they continue to win and the 49ers drop at least 1 game.
Yep. The Cowboys, they're 10-5, looking kind of rough recently, not playing their best, losing back-to-back games against the Bills and the Dolphins. The Bills was a brutal loss. That was bad.
That was a beatdown.
But the Dolphins, I mean, that was super close. They really should have won that game. And as a Bills fan, we needed them to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
At 10-5, it looks less likely that the Cowboys are going to win the division title. They would need the Eagles to lose at least 1 of their last 2 games and continue to win out. At the end of the day, Cowboys probably are not going to make this happen, but they have clinched the playoffs, so they have that going for them. So, I think their focus should be on getting back into the groove that they were in earlier this season and getting to the playoffs and try not to be a first-round exit because they're playing in the wild card for sure. I don't think they're having a first-round bye with the way that they've been playing recently. So we could probably, we could probably see the Cowboys preparing themselves for the playoffs a lot more in these next 2 weekends for their games. So
What was I gonna say? Even if they lose out, I think they have the tiebreaker over whoever the sixth seed is.
okay,
The
Rams.
Rams. I think they have the tiebreaker over the Rams if the Rams happen to win 2 and the Cowboys happen to lose 2.
Okay,
So they'd stay in the 5 pretty
Gotcha.
much regardless.
okay.
Yeah.
And for that game,
we gotta pick.
yeah,
We'll
who
pick
do
the
we pick?
Lions,
Okay,
and then I'm liking the Monday Night Football trend.
yeah,
So I'm kind of thinking the Lions are gonna take it, but both of these teams are really fighting for, well, I guess the Lions already have a division title, but they're both fighting to keep the higher ranking.
right.
So, I mean, it's gonna be competitive for sure.
I mean, I think this is going to be a great game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the underdogs have won 7 times in a row, so why not make it 8? Let's go Lions.
Yeah. All right, let's go Lions.
Let's go Lions over the Cowboys. Lions money line. That's a good
Yeah.
good team to bet on. That's pretty good odds.
Yeah, it is.
Plus 205. I like
It's
that.
not bad.
All right.
Bad.
Moving into the next game.
Here we go. We got a bunch of Sunday games.
Sunday games.
Everybody
now.
else plays on Sunday. All right. First one of the Sunday games, we have the Cardinals at the Eagles. Cardinals money line is plus 440, and the Eagles money line is minus 600. And then the spread is minus 11 in favor of the Eagles. The wheel did pick the Eagles for this one, which, is kind of the right choice with odds being as large as they are.
Right.
But the Eagles are 11-4, and they cannot suffer a loss in the remaining 2 games. Otherwise, they risk losing the division title to the Cowboys, like we just said,
Right.
with the tied record. And we know that the Cowboys do have the tiebreaker over them.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to win this one, or at least one of the last 2.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the Cardinals, 3-12, the second worst team in the league, ahead of the Panthers. They're at the bottom of the NFC West, already eliminated, but they have the potential to knock the Eagles away from their chance at a division title if they pull off a win this weekend. So it's another team where they are playing for nothing at this point, except a draft pick, and they can mess up other teams going into the playoffs and screw over other teams that are potentially trying to, win division titles and stuff. So again, this is another game like the Jets. Do they want to screw other teams over, or do they want to keep in mind the draft picks and look towards the draft, maybe better scouting and not focusing too much on the last 2 games of the season? So I don't think the Cardinals come away with this one the way they've been playing all season. I mean, they definitely could mess some stuff up, but I just don't see it happening.
I don't think so.
I think the Eagles minus 11. I think they beat them by that many points, to be completely honest with you too. But I'm gonna go Eagles money line for now. But honestly, the spread might go up a point to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely likely to change over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Falcons at the Bears. The money line is plus 130 Falcons, minus 155 Bears. Of course, the wheel picks the Bears. They always do.
Always.
And then the spread is minus 3 in favor of the Bears. The 2 of these teams are still in playoff contention, so but both of them need a lot of things to happen to make it. So the Falcons are 7-8. They're second in the NFC South, and they're currently 11th in the wild card race. Shortly after them, in the 12th, is the Bears. The Falcons need to win out the last 2 games if they want a chance at the wild card, and they'll need the Saints to beat the Bucks this weekend if they want a chance at the division title, because this week the Saints play the Bucks, and the next week the Falcons play the Saints.
Yeah.
So that's what needs to happen for a division title. And this division is still undecided, as the Bucks are 8-7 and the Saints are 7-8, and any one of these teams can be hosting a playoff game.
Right.
And then on the Bears side of things, they're 6-9. Nice. And if they lose this game, then the season is over. And even if they win, they need a lot of things to happen. All of the teams ahead of them have to lose this week and next week, and with that, they would only secure the 7th seed. So they would need everybody above them to lose. They need the Rams, the Seahawks, the whoever else is above.
Yeah, whoever's in
Whoever's
the
above them.
race for the wild card, who's
And
in
then
the hunt.
and then they also need the Saints to beat the Bucks.
Right.
On that's the only thing that's like all of them can't lose
Yeah.
because they play each other. They need the Saints to beat the Bucks. But yeah, that's a tight window for the Bears to make it through, but they have like a less than 1% chance even if they win.
Yeah,
So,
it's very unlikely that they do make it, but I guess we'll see. This is one of those games that it means a lot to these two teams, and it might mean a lot to their fans, but nobody's watching this.
Yeah.
Not a single person's going to be. I'm definitely not watching this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for the fans.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think the Bears win this one.
I don't think so.
I think they take a quick elimination.
Yeah, I think the Falcons pull off the win. Arthur Smith, I mean, he's a horrible coach. Taylor Heineke, I don't even know who's playing quarterback at that point, Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke, but either of them doesn't matter. They're both equally terrible. So
Yeah,
you just hope Bijan Robinson can have a 200-yard, 4-touchdown game, like I've been doing in superstar mode in Madden recently, just playing as a halfback and dropped 440 yards in one game.
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, no big deal. 7 touchdowns, like.
Yeah. So we're gonna pick the Falcons on that one.
Yep. And then moving into the next game, we have the Panthers at the Jags. The away odds are 230, and the Jags odds are minus 285. The Jags are minus 6.5 for the spread, but we're looking at a one-sided matchup here. The Panthers sitting at the bottom of the entire league at 2-13. They've been eliminated for a handful of weeks, but a win over the Jags will cost them their division title. So, again, it's literally just the AFC race for the playoff is so tight that there's so many teams in the league that can just mess it up, and like it really depends if they want to. Like the Panthers, I mean, they're probably getting they'll probably get the second round. That's not the second round, the second pick, because who has the first pick? Because the Panthers traded for the first pick, right? So the Bears had the first.
No, they traded for their first round pick.
Right.
So whatever position the Bears are at, they would get the one and whatever the Bears' first round pick is.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so
two first round picks.
Panthers are looking at getting the first round pick, which means the Bears would get it. Right? Yeah.
No, the other way around.
No, the Panthers gave up so much stuff to the Bears.
The Panthers gave up the pick?
Yeah, the Panthers gave up the pick to get Bryce Young. And the Bears got like 4 draft picks for it. Okay. And then they got a first round for this upcoming draft. So wherever the Panthers are, the Bears get that pick.
Okay, so I had it the opposite way.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So, it's the Panthers also have to keep that in mind, right? You don't want, you don't want to be scammed out of Bryce Young and then scammed out of a first round pick, and then next thing you know, the Bears are like cooking you in the draft, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Panthers, not good this season.
Yeah.
No time to turn it around at all. There's no reason why they would need to. The Jags are currently leading the AFC South at 8-7, but a loss will set them back by a lot. They will have to win out in order to keep the division title. In the event of a loss, they will have to win in week 18. And their division rivals will have to lose both of their remaining games. So currently, we were looking at the Jags when they were on their 5-game win streak in London after London, right? It was like a game
up
or
until
two
the
after
bye
London.
week.
Yeah, up until the bye week. After the bye week, they completely
lost.
fell apart.
Completely lost out.
Yeah.
Weren't they like 8-3 going into their bye week?
I don't think they were 8-3.
Maybe not
I think it was lower, but they had a good winning record. I think they were 6-3 or something.
Yeah,
something like that. They had a really good winning record, and then all of a sudden
they've lost 4. So
crazy. So, we're looking at the Jags, who we thought were going to make the playoffs, like no problem. Now depending on a lot of stuff to happen for them. So
yeah, and
this is a must-win game. This is a game they should win.
The top 3 in their division are all tied.
Yeah.
So like anybody that wins and the other guys lose, like that's it. That's their division.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So it's gonna boil down to tiebreakers. I guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm taking the Jags.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to sweat it on this one.
Me too.
I don't know why the Jags money line is not higher.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, probably because they've
considering
been
how
on these losing streaks.
Right, considering how not great they've been playing, and Trevor Lawrence has been blowing up and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So,
sort of imploded after the bye week.
oh yeah.
The wheel picked the Jags as well.
Yep.
Forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
And then we're a couple games into this. You guys might be wondering why do they keep looking off to the side. I have everything set up on my laptop.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it for all the notes that we had jotted down.
Yeah.
And then
just
I got the spreadsheet pulled up, so I'm entering our picks.
Yeah, we're just kind of working
afterwards.
off of it, adding a little bit to it. But
Yeah.
that's why we're both looking over here.
Yeah.
And not so much over here.
Unfortunately, we're set up at a small table, so we can't layer them in front of each other. So we have to look off to the side.
Exactly.
Next up, we have the Raiders at the Colts. Raiders money line is plus 145. The Colts money line is minus 175. I just saw a pretty funny typo in my notes. The Colts have a minus 3.5 spread. The Raiders are 7-8, currently the 111th seed. That's supposed to just say 11th. Currently the 11th seed in the AFC. And a W against the Chiefs last week means that they are still in the running for a division title if they continue to win out and the Chiefs continue to lose out.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, the Raiders will need to win out if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, the division title really boils down to the Chiefs, but the Raiders need to win regardless.
And what a game
That
against
was-
the Chiefs.
oh, yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
That is. And that helped not only the Raiders, but that also helped the Bills too.
Majority of the other AFC teams
exactly,
that are in the
yeah, because
standings
I mean
already.
the Chiefs are in the same spot that they were in before the game.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling that they were going to go 1-1 against the Raiders. I feel like they always do.
Mhm.
I feel like they always have that fluke game
Yeah.
in a division matchup where they lose the game. They had it once with the Broncos. They had it once with the Raiders.
No, actually they haven't. Because all of the division matchups, Patrick Mahomes is X and 1.
Oh yeah, you're
this
right.
is his
You're
first
right.
loss in the
Yeah,
division.
you're right. It feels like
It feels like it,
that
yeah.
there's always that one, but again, lost to the Broncos, lost to the Raiders this season, so it's been a bad season, and we'll get to the Chiefs later on, but it's been a bad season for that team.
Yeah. And then on the other side of this game, we have the Colts, who are 8-7, tied with the Jags, but currently second in the AFC due to tiebreakers within the division.
Yep.
They're the 7th seed in the wild card, and they will need to win out. And if the Jags lose at least one game, then they can win the division. But at the very least, they still have to win out to retain their wild card spot. Like I said, they're 7th, and they don't really want to get bumped out by somebody else moving up.
Right.
So both of these teams are going to be playing pretty competitive. They want to keep or gain a wild card spot. So
Yeah.
it's going to be probably a tighter game than most people would have imagined looking at this at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then the wheel picked the Raiders. And honestly, after their win against the Chiefs, it looks like they have all the pieces together. So I'm thinking that they can pull it off again.
I would like to see the Raiders
Yeah.
win this one.
If
It
they're-
also helps again a
Well,
lot
yeah.
of teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
So
Um,
you know the Colts are playing for a lot, but you also know the Raiders are still playing for a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
who would have thought that a team playing this bad this season lost
Yeah.
their head coach,
Yes.
lost
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, who was a nobody, and they have a
Mhm.
rookie Aiden O'Connell in. I mean, who would have thought they'd be sitting 7-8 right now?
Yeah.
Definitely not me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not expect that at all.
And a shot at the division title when they're in the same division as the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Alright.
So, yeah, moving into the next game, we have the Rams at the Giants. The Rams are minus 230. I think this is the first team where the away team has the better odds.
Yeah, this is the first one we've got on the list.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So, first time the away team has better odds to win this game.
At least
I mean-
today talking about it.
Right, yeah, for now. So, and the Giants are plus 190. So, Giants really not favored to win this game by any means.
Closer than expected. Looking at the
definitely,
comparison of these two teams,
I mean,
definitely closer than expected.
I mean, after watching that Giants game against the Eagles,
Yeah,
it was
that's-
close.
That's the reason for the boost on these odds.
Exactly. Rams minus 5.5. Let's start with the Giants. I mean, sadly, they were eliminated with their loss last weekend to the Eagles. It was super close. but we knew this was coming at some point. They had a mountain to climb if they wanted to squeeze into the 7th seed. I mean, they needed everything to go their way. Tommy DeVito needed to turn into prime Tom Brady in order for that to happen. But I mean, listen,
Eli Manning.
Yeah, or that too. Yeah. The thing I will say is I liked the whole Tommy DeVito thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought the whole Tommy Cutlets, the whole whatever this thing is, was
Yeah.
awesome. Like, that was great for the first 2 weeks. And then him and his manager or agent started to milk it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
milk it hard. And then I just started to hate him. And then they benched him after, what was it, the first half, right?
Yeah.
In the game against the Eagles. And Tyrod Taylor came out and he balled out. I mean, he played well. He played a lot better than Tommy Cutlets did. His career is now going to be just a backup. He's never starting anywhere else. We'll never see him starting. And he averaged 140 passing yards a game. That's not a QB that wins games. I mean, he had like passing touchdowns.
It was enough for them,
like,
but they also had Saquon Barkley.
That's what I mean.
To run the ball
exactly,
so.
exactly. So you're just getting him to hand off the ball. I mean, he had some good games with a couple of touchdowns. He had a handful. He wasn't throwing too many picks, but
yeah,
140 yards per game. That's not you got to get more than that if you want to win more games. So.
Yeah, I mean, sort of some things to consider is that like he in the first like 3 weeks that he played, he made it to like the top 10 quarterbacks that like sacks.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's not like he was given the best opportunity.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, so that's kind of the whole Giants thing that's going on. But just another team that they're really playing for nothing. So after last week on Christmas, so the Rams are 8-7, and the current 6th seed in the wild card. Unsure how much further they will move up, even if they win out. They need like a ton to go their way, but also the teams above them are playing for a lot already too. So we already know that the 49ers have clinched the division, but in order to move up to the 5th seed, they will need the Cowboys to lose out. And even then, the Cowboys would have the tiebreaker. I'm pretty sure.
I think.
Pretty sure.
I think so.
So, again, another team where we're like, holy cow. Like, they turned their season around completely.
Oh, yeah.
Once Cooper Kupp came back, they started off a little rocky, and then realized, oh my God, we have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp that we can just throw to. This is a lethal duo.
And then their running back too. He's up there. He's been phenomenal this season.
Yeah, dude. Rams have just turned it around. They've just been balling out recently. So I think they stay in the playoffs. I think they stay in the wild card. They're not getting probably anywhere further up this season. So they should probably just win the rest of their games. If everything goes their way, good for them. But I think they stay in the 6th, 7th seed area.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely gonna make it to the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Their last 2 games are not the most difficult, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I can look it up real quick. They play. Oh, never mind. They play the 49ers.
Okay, so but this game is not difficult.
This
game is
game
not
is
difficult.
Although you never know, the Giants gave the Eagles a pretty hard time.
True.
But yeah, I think we're both going with the Rams on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams for sure.
Easy enough. All right, now we got the 2 big ones.
2 back-to-back big
that we're
huge.
really looking forward to.
Yeah.
First game that we're going to talk about with the Dolphins at the Ravens. Dolphins money line is plus 154, and the Ravens money line is minus 185, and the spread is minus 3.5 in favor of the Ravens. On top of that, the wheel has picked the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you know how we're going to root on this game.
Ravens.
Yeah. Ravens. Talk about the Dolphins. They're now 11-4, and they clinched a wild card spot. They're looking to beat the Ravens for the number 1 seed and the bye week going into the playoffs. A win this weekend will secure them the AFC East title, but they will have to win both to secure the bye. On the other side of things, if they lose this game, then the Bills have a shot at the AFC East title.
Yep.
So they're going to be playing pretty competitive trying to keep that. But I don't know how well that's going to go because they're playing the Ravens at the Ravens. Ravens had a lackluster win over the 49ers. Sorry, there's a dehumidifier. Kind of a mess of a game. Starting with a safety tripping over the ref in the end zone,
Yeah, that was
and then
crazy.
getting a intentional grounding call. Um, that's just a tough way to start the game. But they continued to play, and their defense is really what saved them. Uh, they had 4 interceptions, and they low scoring compared to what everybody thought it was going to be. But they came out with a win. So now
Yeah.
they're 12-3. They still lead the AFC. And a loss here will cost them their bye week, as I said, with the Dolphins. But a win will secure the division title and the bye week.
Yeah.
So Ravens have a lot on the table here.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams really have a lot on the table because the Dolphins win, they clinch it. They get first place. It's the first time they won the AFC East in a long time.
Yeah.
Going to the playoffs.
And the 1 seed in a long time.
Right,
too,
exactly. Yeah, so
both of these teams have a lot.
Yeah, a lot. This is going to be a huge game. It's bigger than the game last week, I think.
Yeah.
The Ravens-Niners game. That was a huge game going in
because it was the 1-1.
Right, it was a huge game going in, and then it was a surprise to everybody how the game ended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's a huge game coming up here. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this game and the Patriots-Bills game too. So, we should be seeing something good in those games. I'll just cut this out. You moving?
I'm gonna turn this thing off real quick. I just realized it's been running the whole time, and the audio is probably gonna sound a lot clearer now.
Probably.
Sorry about
that. Little background noise never hurt nobody.
We didn't notice it because I knocked over the fan. We didn't notice it because we were setting up, so it was just like white noise at this point. But then it turned off, and we figured out what was going on.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, we're picking the Ravens, and the wheel picked the Dolphins. Here we go. Second one, really big one. We have the Patriots at the Bills. And real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I got pretty lucky with my sports betting last weekend, and I made enough money to become the new owner of the Highmark Stadium.
Yes.
So,
there
here
we
it
go.
is.
He owns Highmark Stadium. This
Yes.
is crazy. This is monumental here.
I don't want to admit how long this took me to build.
Dude, I've heard those things are like ridiculously hard.
Yeah. All these tiny little pieces.
Dude, that's crazy how
yeah.
small. Oh my God, those are tiny.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Look at how
get these real
small
close.
those are.
Like tiny little studs.
Fake ass Legos.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
Oh my God. Yeah, but that's sick though. That's still super cool.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun to build. But not the real owner, obviously.
Clearly.
But yeah, that's what I bought with my earnings from last weekend. So we have the Pats at the Bills. The money line odds are plus 525 for the Patriots and minus 750 for the Bills. Currently, the Bills spread is at minus 13. Earlier when I checked, it was at minus 12.5, but later in the day, it got bumped up to 13. The Patriots are sitting at the bottom of the AFC with a 4-11 record. When's the last time Bill Belichick let that happen?
Been a while.
I don't think I was born yet.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't born yet.
However, last week was a surprising win against the Broncos, but already having been eliminated doesn't mean anything, unfortunately, for their postseason run. A win this weekend will knock out the Bills' chance at a division title. So we're really rooting against the Patriots here. We want the Bills to win all the way.
Yeah.
On the Bills' side of things, somewhat poor performance against the Chargers. It nearly cost them their chance at the division title.
That was horrifying.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. A win this week will essentially clinch them a wild card spot. They still have to win out and hope that the Ravens can beat the Dolphins if they want a shot at the division title. And then they also have to beat the Dolphins in Week 18. Right,
yeah. So a lot riding on this game, a lot riding on the game we just talked about before, the Ravens-Dolphins. So
yeah,
these are two, for us as Bills fans for sure, but two games that a lot of people have their eyes on for sure for the 1 o'clock. So
yeah. And then I'm kind of mad at the wheel for this, but they picked the Patriots. So
the Bills are minus 13. There's no way. Okay. Let me. The Bills beat the good teams when they need to, like the Cowboys. That was a game where it was supposed to be a lot closer, and we just curb stomped them. the games that the Bills should win, we always go in, we get scared, and we come out winning by like a point,
Yeah.
and I have like a half a heart attack after
Yeah.
the game.
All of
So
the all of the games within one score this season have been, I think we're like 2 and however many losses we have. So, you know,
yeah, dude.
usually we beat the other teams by a lot,
Right.
and then we keep it close even if it's not a win. So,
Yeah, we just gotta. The Bills are the most inconsistent team in the league for sure.
yeah.
At least one of the most. So.
Well, I mean, they're on the ups now.
Right.
minus
Oh, for
last
sure,
week,
for sure.
but
Yeah. It's just like I feel like I can never take the spread. I normally don't bet on Bills games to be honest with you, just because I get like I feel like I'm gonna jinx something.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
don't. I don't.
I do take Bills money line every week just
Yeah, I
because.
don't. I don't take. I don't take the money lines or the spreads. I just do player stats for the
Right.
Bills. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. But minus 13, I don't know, dude. I just don't trust it.
I
That's
mean,
too big of a spread for.
what was our spread in that? What was our spread in the game that we played them earlier in the season? I don't think we were doing this at that point that early,
No,
but
I don't think we had started it yet.
whatever the spread was, like obviously it didn't go our way
Right.
because they beat us. But I think we're coming back with some vengeance,
I think so.
especially now that it's at home.
And we
It
need a
always
win.
makes a difference.
And we really need the win.
Yeah. One more thing, real quick. The Bills do have the largest spread favor, only by half a point. The 49ers are minus 12.5, but they have the highest odds and the highest spread
Yep.
to win.
So if you're betting Bills money line this week, please put it in a parlay because you're
Yeah.
not going to be getting very much return on your money if you
Yeah.
just bet on Bills money
So I have the doc set up. Like if you put $100 in, you win 13 and a quarter.
Hey, that's $13 more in your pocket though.
It is, but you gotta wager a
And-
lot to make more money. So
And you put $100 on the Patriots.
you win 625.
So if you are balling out, if you somehow have that kind of money to just throw on the Patriots money line, you must be out of your mind because it's not happening.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're down $100.
Yeah. Well, the wheel's using fake money, so they don't. Really care.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, that covers those two games. Very exciting. Next up, we have the Saints at the Bucks. If you want to take that
Yeah.
one.
Saints at the Bucks. We have the Saints plus 114 and the Bucks minus 135. The Bucks are minus 2.5. The Saints, this division matchup will likely determine the NFC South division leader. Obviously, the Saints will have to win their last two games if they want to keep in the runnings. With the way they've been playing this season, super middle of the line team. They need some stuff to go their way. Obviously, that NFC South division is just all over the place right now. Like this is a huge game right here. Like this is a really really big game. This could cost either of these teams a chance for the division title.
Yeah.
If the Bucks win, they will essentially guarantee a division title. It will then come down to winning the Week 18 matchup or hoping that the Saints lose to the Falcons in their Week 18 matchup. So Bucks need a win here because that's basically a division title.
Mhm.
Who do they play in Week 18?
In Week 18.
Do you know?
Let's see. Let's pull it up real quick. They play the Panthers.
Okay,
So that's an easy win.
That was going to
That's
be
an
my
easy
guess was they were going to play a division rival.
Yeah.
So if they could just win these two games, they got it. If they win this game and somehow lose next week, you just hope the Saints lose to the Falcons. So we're just gonna kind of have to see. But this should be another good game, another big division rival with a
Yeah.
lot on the line for both of these teams.
Well, I mean, it's only the 4 seed, but
Right. But
that's basically their only way to make the playoffs.
right.
Really.
Yeah, exactly. Because all the other teams, they're so far ahead. But
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. We were talking about like however many weeks ago when the Panthers still had a chance to host a playoff game,
and they had like
And
one
they
win
were-
or two
yeah.
wins.
They were 2-10.
Yeah.
So they still had a chance, and now it's like these guys still don't look great. Nobody really made any changes. They're
Right,
still
yeah.
basically 500 teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's gonna be tight, but they're both fighting for a division title, so they are probably gonna go all out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be a good game to watch. Honestly, I might
yeah.
tune into this game every once in a while. For
I'll probably have it
something.
on in the background.
I'm probably gonna go. I'll probably go the Bucks in this game.
Yeah,
Bucks need to win this game. So
I think I'm gonna go the Bucks as well. You know, they'll
we'll
just
pick the Bucks too.
yeah.
So we're just gonna agree with the wheel here.
Because if they win, like I said, they basically guarantee the title.
Yeah.
Because they play the Panthers next week.
Right.
But if they win this, then it's basically like one and done.
Right. Yeah.
So, kind of like what I was talking about last week with the Vikings and Lions game. Like if the Lions win, then they're just done. They clinch the division.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you know, better get it over with as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Which unfortunately is week 17. But
right. Yeah.
Next up, we have sort of a doghouse game. We got the 49ers at the Commanders. Like, you know, this is clearly going to go the way that you're thinking it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we all.
The 49ers odds are minus 750, and the Commanders odds are plus 525, same as the Bills-Patriots game. But the spread is different, like I said, minus 12.5 instead of minus 13.
Mm-hmm.
49ers are 11-4 after their loss to the Ravens, but they still remain the 1 seed because they have beaten the Eagles for the tiebreaker. Now that they're tied with the Lions and the Eagles, they will have to keep winning if they want to keep their bye week going into the playoffs.
Right.
So this, excuse me, has a lot on the line for them because they want that 1 seed. They've already clinched the division, so it doesn't really matter if they lose or not, but they want the 1 seed.
Right.
And then the Commanders are already eliminated. 4-11 is their record, and then the most that they can do with a win is just give their division rival the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to boost their division rival up into the 1 seed when they can take the loss, get a better draft pick, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't need to win.
They're probably gonna try in the first half, but then if they're down by a lot, they're not going to do much.
Yeah, it's just going to go downhill from there.
Yeah. Probably another game that you could take the Christian McCaffrey 2 touchdowns.
Honestly, dude. Honestly, yeah. I mean, the Commanders being statistically the 32nd place defense in the league.
Yes.
And remember, like a couple of years ago, they were one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
But then they got rid of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They got rid of Montez Sweat. They got rid of Chase Young. They didn't re-sign some defense. Yeah, just destroyed that defense. That team is in shambles.
Yeah. Well, here's another bad pick from the wheel. They chose the Commanders. The wheel obviously doesn't know that the Commanders are eliminated and that the 49ers have been juggernauts.
Right, yeah. The wheel does not know anything about football. The wheel just picks the team, and we just agree or disagree with it.
Yeah. The wheel just knows, like the percentage of what each name gets.
Yes.
So that's
correct.
it. That's all it does.
That's it. Yeah, we don't have no AI wheel spinning that know everything about everything. So.
Although last week they went for majority of the underdogs.
Oh yeah, we got murdered last week.
Yeah, we got destroyed.
I mean, we literally won 6 games that we picked.
Mm-hmm. And then the wheel won 7, but choosing majority underdogs mean that they made a positive $400 and we lost $650. So now they're beating us by quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we were.
Oh, because I put the sorry.
We were talking about. I don't know if we talked about it recently, but we talked about the Steelers-Bengals game from last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if we didn't post anything about that, did we?
For like a recap?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because the Steelers won.
Yeah.
And they killed the Bengals. And I had the Steelers in that game, beating the Bengals. It really wouldn't make any difference on how much we're losing to the wheel. So that's just kind of a small little recap just from last week. But we'll move on to the next game for now.
What did we pick? 49ers. The smart choice. The only choice.
The next game we have is the Titans at the Texans. What just happened?
Camera.
Okay. Titans at the Texans. Titans minus 164 or plus 164. Excuse me. Texans minus 198. The Texans are minus 4.5. So it sounds like to me, the Texans having the odds to win is that C.J. Stroud might be back.
I think so.
I think he's back this week.
I think he was cleared for from concussion protocol for
Okay.
the last game, but they didn't play him because he was like cleared that morning or the
Right. Okay.
day before.
Yeah. So he should be okay.
Yeah.
The Titans 5-10 at the bottom of the AFC South. This team is already eliminated from playoff contention. If they win against the Texans, it will knock their division rival down in the playoff standings. So another team that can really just, if they want to win, they could knock down that division rival, which maybe they want to do, but, Mike Vrabel might have different ideas on how to approach this game.
Yeah.
If they want to lose this game, throw in Tannehill. If they want to win this game, put Derrick Henry at quarterback because apparently he has the best career stats. He's got 4 passing touchdowns.
He's 7 for 9 with 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. But, they only use him at quarterback like when they're 6 or 7 yards or closer.
Right, yeah.
So,
I mean, you're not, yeah.
Sorry. I hit the
yeah. So, moving into the Texans are 8-7. They're the current 8th seed for the AFC. If they win out, they will be relying on the Jags and the Colts to lose at least one game in the last 2 weeks if they want to win their division. If they win out, they still need some other teams ahead of them to drop a game or two if they want to squeeze into the wild card round. So, I don't know. They want the Colts. Who do the Colts play again?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's only the Colts. The Colts play the Raiders.
Colts play the Raiders. Okay, so let's
I think
say
it's only the Colts.
I mean, the Colts lose, the Texans win, they swap.
Yeah.
They're going to swap.
I think that's it because the Browns are 3 games ahead and the Bills are 2 games ahead. So, and I think we had the
Bills.
I think we have the tiebreaker over
one game ahead.
Texans.
Browns are 2 games ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So yeah, they would need other teams to like lose twice.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, there's a chance for them to get higher than the Colts, but I don't think that's going to happen. So they should just bank on the Colts. Just keep winning games and then just bank on other teams to lose.
Yeah.
Just bank on the Colts, and then they'll switch with the Colts. So,
yeah. Well, bank on the Colts and the Jags because then they have the chance at the division. So, it's basically like they either get the 4 seed for the division title or they get the 7 seed at the bottom of the playoff standings.
Right.
So, at the very least, they're going to be a bottom of the barrel playoff team.
Yeah.
The Wheel picked the Texans.
I'm going Texans.
Yeah, I think they'll take
They've
it too.
lost 2 pretty bad games in a row recently, so
yeah, I think having their quarterback.
I mean, Case Keenum,
return,
he was horrible. He was absolutely horrible.
He started rough, did okay in like the 3rd quarter, maybe earlier than that. Did okay somewhere in the middle of the game. Had like a moment of shining light, and then went back to the.
And it was too late for that.
Yeah.
So.
If he would have kept it up, then maybe. But
yeah,
he just oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're taking the Texans. Moving into the 4:00 games, starting off with the Steelers at the Seahawks. The Steelers money line is plus 145, and the Seahawks money line is minus 175. Seahawks spread is minus 3.5, and the Wheel has chosen the Steelers. The win over the Bengals last weekend, we kind of touched on it a little bit, keeps them in the runnings. The Steelers did not bring up their position at all with this win. Unfortunately, they stayed in the same spot. But the Bengals did drop 3 places. If they win out, they're still relying on other teams to lose if they want to move up enough to get the 7th seed. I'm drawing a blank on what position they're in right now.
The Steelers?
I think the Bengals are in the 9 and the Steelers are in the 11. 10 or 11.
I don't know because the Bengals and the Steelers have the same record. I think the
Bengals
Steelers
have the tiebreaker though.
Yeah, you're right.
Because of other division games.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah.
And then if they want to move up enough to get the 7th seed, they have to win out, and they need other teams to lose. And then the Seahawks, they're 8-7, currently the 7th seed in the NFC. They're looking to win out and maintain this wild card spot. If they lose this week, they do still have a 40% chance of making the playoffs, as the 8th seed is the Vikings, who are 1 win behind. And I think the Seahawks have the tiebreaker.
I think so,
if they hit the same record.
I think so, too, yeah.
So the Wheel has chosen the Steelers. I think the Seahawks are going to
I'm probably going with the Seahawks on this one. They've been playing pretty well.
Yeah. either way, whoever loses, they're not eliminated. They just have to win next week in week 18, and they need a couple other things to happen. Yeah.
for them. So a win here really helps them a lot.
Yeah. Although I think with the Steelers, if a couple of teams ahead of them win, then they do get eliminated. But they need like everybody above them to win.
Right.
And for them to lose to be like out.
Right.
Yes, we're going with the Seahawks on that one. Here's another big one. Well, would be a big one if the quarterback was still in. But,
yeah.
The Bengals at the Chiefs. Bengals plus 245, Chiefs minus 305, Chiefs spread minus 7. The Bengals lost to the Steelers last week, drops them to 8-7. They're in the 9th place in the AFC. If they can beat the Chiefs this week, it will boost them to a 58% chance of making the playoffs. Currently, they're a little lower than that.
Yeah.
A little below 50% chance to make it.
I think so, yeah.
But same thing with the Steelers. Like, if they lose, they're not eliminated, but they need a lot of things to happen in week 18.
The Bengals?
Yeah.
No, they have like a 13% chance right now.
Oh, really low?
Oh, yeah. After that loss, they have like a 13 to 14% chance, I'm pretty sure. Unless stuff went their way this weekend. I don't know exactly, But after they lost that game, they showed a graphic and it said the Bengals have like a so-and-so like 13% chance to actually make it.
They're currently at 24.
24. Okay, so they had a couple of things happen for them.
If they lose, it drops to 8%, but if they win, then it goes up to 58.
Yeah, so if they lose, they're basically done. But they dropped 3 places this week.
Yeah, because the Texans won last week. No, they lost.
No,
Texans,
they lost.
Texans lost last week, but they stayed in the 8th spot.
Yeah. No, they dropped.
Texans dropped.
Yeah, they dropped because they were in.
They won.
They were in the 8. They were in the 7. Colts were in the 6, and then the Bills just shot up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Bills and the Bengals basically swapped.
The Bengals came here, the Bills went up, and then these two guys
moved down one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the Bengals really need a win to stay.
Yeah.
In this, but even so, they still need to win both games, and a couple teams need to lose. On the Chiefs side of things, their loss to the Raiders last weekend was very exciting, but it does mean that they are on the chopping block. If they lose out, not only will they lose their division title, but they will also be eliminated from the playoffs altogether. A win in either of their last 2 games will win them the division title, but they will only be making it in at the 3 or the 4 seed. If they win both, then they keep the 3. If they lose one, then they get the 4.
Yeah.
So, both teams are kind of fighting here. Obviously, the Chiefs have a bit more on the table because they are a division leader, but they both need a win.
Yeah, they both do. So they're both playing for a lot. I think the Chiefs come away with this one.
I think so too. I mean,
they've been playing too hot recently, so I think they
they looked really sloppy against the Raiders. But,
yeah. It was like a fluke game.
Yeah, Christmas miracle, like we said earlier.
Seriously.
But the Bengals have also been kind of sloppy in the past couple of games. They, obviously lost to the Steelers. They played kind of middle of the line the week before that, but we'll see. It's kind of like 2 teams that are on a downslope right now, and this win would catapult either of them back to kind of where they were before.
Right.
As much as I think the Chiefs are going to win, I really don't want them to.
I don't either.
But yeah,
I think the Chiefs
win this game.
Chiefs. From a betting perspective, the Chiefs win this game.
You never know. We could have the Jake Browning special, the Joe Mixon special.
Right, you never know. Yeah, Joe Mixon would never have the Joe Mixon special. That dude can't play football for his life.
But
that dude is such a bust.
Yeah, I guess who has him on fantasy?
Hey, dude, Najee Harris isn't much better.
Yeah, well.
2 insane busts.
Yeah, and then Isaiah Pacheco got injured, so he got taken out of the game.
Right.
Because that dumbass doesn't know how to tighten his helmet.
Yep, and then he fell through the table on the Chiefs sideline.
That was hysterical.
He just sits down on the table and just folds right in.
He was going to sit down, and then the table went like this.
He was a Bills fan for that moment for sure. He was breaking tables. He was a Bills fan. So yeah, we're going Chiefs on that game.
Yep.
But moving into the next game, the last 4 o'clock game, we have the Chargers at the Broncos. The Chargers are plus 154. Broncos are minus 185. The Broncos are also minus 3.5 for the spread. The Chargers, their loss to the Bills drops them to 5-10, but they were already eliminated, so it does not matter what any of the game's outcomes are for them. They can't really mess too much stuff up going, on for the rest of the season. I mean, the thing is, they almost messed up the Bills' chances for the playoffs, so that was kind of tough, in that realm. But luckily, the Bills pulled out the win by 2 points, so we'll take it. So the Chargers almost messed that up, but from here on out, they're kind of just playing to play football at this point. So the Broncos 7-8, sitting at 12th in the AFC. If they lose this game, they are somehow not eliminated, but they will have less than a 1% chance. So you could definitely say they're eliminated of making the 7th seed if they do make it at all. So they turned their season around, and then we just also found out that Russell Wilson has been playing football knowing that he was going to get cut and released after this season. They're just letting him go. So apparently, I mean, I have no idea. I don't know why. I mean, well,
he got his money up front.
I do know why, but he's been playing. He turned the season around for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, he just, they're just dropping the ball. So.
He was like, F it, I got paid already.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And he got paid big time. So.
Yeah.
What a waste of money for Sean Payton, dude. What an absolute waste of money and time. How long do they have him? Only a year?
They had him all of last season, too. That's why they had so many primetime games that all went to shit. That's where the whole, Amazon primetime shit show came from, because the Broncos had, 4 or 5 prime times. 2 of them were Thursdays.
Yep.
And then they just got shit on.
Thank you, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. Oh, like the Broncos Colts game, it was 12-9, all field goals, and it went into overtime.
Oh my God, yeah, that game was so
9-9 overtime, and then the Colts kicked a field goal to win.
God,
garbage game. But yeah, that's where that starts from, because the Broncos suck.
Yep.
The wheel picked the Broncos.
I'm taking them.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I'm taking them.
What was their matchup the last time that they played?
Patriots?
No. The Chargers last time that they played.
Oh, Broncos won.
Yeah, 24-7 Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it against the Bills. The Chargers really made a turnaround since their last matchup with the Broncos. Chargers made a turnaround since their last matchup with the Broncos.
Right.
Maybe it'll be enough. I don't know. I feel like the Broncos still walk away with it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Plus, they know that if they lose, they have a less than 1% chance of making the playoffs. All right. Moving into the last game.
I think that was a Sunday game as well. Sunday at 8.
I don't think so.
I think there's 2 Sunday games.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they switched it then. Because when I was looking this morning, it was...
Not 18, 17.
Because when I was looking this morning, it was a 4:25 p.m.
Yeah, so we have 1 Thursday night game. We have 1 Saturday game.
All Sunday.
All Sundays.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, afternoon.
Sunday at 4. Oh.
4:25, yeah. So just 1 Sunday night game.
When I checked, DraftKings had it as an 8 o'clock game.
Oh, weird. Maybe they'll change it. I don't know. But anyways, so that was the last of the Sunday afternoon games. So moving into the Sunday night game, which I'm so glad that we have football all New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be so nice. If you're going out to a bar and drinking with your friends, you get an actual kind of semi-decent matchup on Sunday night. So you have something to look forward to. I mean, for me, my second team is the Packers. My dad was a Packers fan when he was younger. Obviously Bills first, but Packers fan. So whenever the Packers play, I root for them. But we have the Packers at the Vikings. Packers are plus 105. Vikings are minus 125. And the Vikings are minus 1.5. The Packers, a division matchup that will likely decide which of these teams will make the playoffs. The Vikings are 7-8. They are 8th. And the Packers also 7-8. They are 9th. So whoever wins this game will get boosted to the 8th seed. And will be relying on a win in Week 18 as well as a loss from any team from any of the teams in the 6 or 7 spot. So the Packers need a lot to happen. They need to win this game. They will get boosted to the 8 seed, and then they need a win in Week 18, and then they need
The
a couple of
Seahawks
losses,
and the
Seahawks and the
Rams
Rams to
to
lose.
Yeah.
Yes. Vikings on that side, losing to the Lions last week means they cannot win the division. They probably weren't going to anyways. But if they win out, then they will most likely clinch the 6th or 7th seed as long as the current 6 or 7 losses a game in the next 2 weeks. That doesn't make any sense. Loses. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Reading a script, it's whatever. Like I said, this is a semi-decent matchup. They're both playing for a lot here, right? So both the same records. One team wins, they get boosted. The other team loses, they're down. They're probably not making the playoffs. You know what I mean? So if they can win if one of these teams can win their next 2 games, and then you get a couple of losses from the Rams and the Seahawks, you're looking at either the Packers with Jordan Love sneaking in or the Vikings with Nick Mullins sneaking in. So I don't think I want to see Nick Mullins in the playoffs this year. Jordan Love, fine, but yeah, Nick Mullins doesn't.
I mean, it would be really cool to see Jordan Love in there. It's like
that'd be cool.
Technically, his rookie season as a starter. He's a rookie as a starter, but it's obviously not his first year in the league.
Right.
It would be really cool to see him play. That'd be
awesome.
Nice opportunity for him.
I would enjoy that.
some playoff ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what would be wild is if these two teams tie and then they stay in the 8 and 9 seed. Because then they go 7, 8, and 1.
Oh my god, dude, that would be insane. I can't wait to call you on New Year's Eve. They just died.
It's like last year.
We haven't even had a tie game this year yet.
No.
That's crazy. We had like a ton of them last season.
Yeah, like last year, the Raiders and the Chargers both would have made the playoffs if they just tied their game in Week 18.
Yeah.
And it was neck and neck the whole time. They score a touchdown, they score a touchdown. They score a field goal, they score a field goal. It was the same score the entire every time that one team made it down the field, the other team returned it and did the exact same thing.
Yep.
And then they made it into overtime, and they boiled it down to like the last minute. The Chargers or the Raiders, whoever won that, had the ball,
right?
And they were in field goal range, and they were just going to let the clock run out and let both of them make it. But then the opposing head coach called a timeout.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was the Raiders. The Raiders won that because the clip was like, of Derek Carr, like, getting ready to, like, take a knee, and then you hear the whistles blow because the Chargers head coach took a timeout, and then you see Derek Carr go, like, bring the kickers out.
Yeah.
Like, send the kick, and then they won the game because of that, and then I think, like, the Steelers got boosted in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. So.
Which... all the memes about that game last year, because they were tied, if they had ended in a tie, like, they both make it.
Yeah.
All the memes about, like, just kneeling it 32 times straight.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, just back and forth kneeling.
Just 0-0.
Yeah,
just
0-0. Just do it.
Yeah, 32 straight kneels would have been hysterical to watch. They probably wouldn't have even aired it on TV.
No way.
And the poor fans that paid for those tickets.
I know, dude. Yeah,
but I'm glad that they kept that high scoring. But yeah, no ties this season. All of the overtime games have ended
until this Packers-Vikings game that you just called.
All of the
I'd put money on it, honestly.
All of the overtime games have ended like very quickly, either on the opening drive or on the return.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like the Bills overtime games on the return.
That's so tough.
Tough.
Whatever.
But, it is what it is. There are other teams that have had that happen, so. But no ties this week. It was looking close for a couple of them, but then I think the one Texans game boiled down to, like, the last-minute kick in overtime.
Yeah, I think so.
And they missed? Was that the one that they missed? Or was that in the regular time?
Yes, that was the one they missed in overtime.
They missed it,
I think they missed it
by,
in
like,
overtime.
a yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so no ties this season.
Crazy, but
yeah.
That just means it's a very entertaining season, right?
Yeah, it's
Well,
been very competitive these past couple of weeks.
yeah, for sure. It has been kind of a sucky season with all those QB injuries, but
Yeah.
I'm taking the Packers here, by the way.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
yeah, Packers on this one. So
Yep. And then next week we'll come back with hopefully like a final
yeah,
playoff standing minus like the NFC South and the AFC East and
right.
the no the
AFC is still going to be like
AFC is going to be
jumbled up.
Yeah.
It'll be jumbled up. But,
will be pretty solid after this week, I would say. Maybe one or two teams still fighting to get in. But.
Yeah. Outlook on the next couple of weeks. Next week we're doing the same thing. We're going to do it in person. We'll be doing in person for week 18, the last week of the regular season, and then going.
Oh, look at that banger! Oh well, they're all to be determined. Never mind. I was gonna say if that's the Thursday night game.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, looking ahead.
And then after that normal one, we're going to go into the playoffs. So we're going to be doing, depending on when the games really are, we probably won't be able to do one whole video. Unless we do it like on a Sunday or like a Saturday, like a day before the games play.
There's one Thursday, 2 Saturdays, 2 Sundays, and then a Monday.
Okay, so if we do it on Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, then we could be okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll keep up with the playoff picture, but we'll be doing videos like week 18 for the last week, and then we'll do the wild card, the conference, or the wild card, the divisional, the conference, and then the Super Bowl. So we'll be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and the Super Bowl one, it's still going to be a pretty decently long video. I mean, there's a ton to talk about when we get to that point.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised they haven't filled in. I'm looking at the wild card right now, and it says to be determined for everything. I'm surprised they haven't filled in like one slot is the 49ers, and then another slot is the Lions, because those are the only 2 teams that have clinched anything.
Right. Yeah. You're right. But yeah, so that's about it from our side here. We're about the Jets-Browns game starts in about 7 minutes, so we're going to be packing our stuff up and heading up there to watch that.
So this is going to be uploading like as the game is starting.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was going to take some cuts in this video, but I think I'm just going to upload it raw. What do you think? Because I mean, well, here's the thing. Because we technically don't need to release this until like tomorrow night or like Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Or all day Saturday. So if you want it edited, then we can wait to release it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, we can just post the raw, and it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. We might as well just like cut the Thursday.
Yeah,
we
can
just
do
post
that.
all of it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that's fine. We'll just
the only editing that we could do is just like cut whatever that mistake was.
And who cares? If anybody makes it that far, good for you.
Hey,
So,
we're gonna leave this part in too.
yeah.
F it.
Hey, screw it, dude.
It's
I
still
don't
here.
even care. Are you kidding me?
You're still here?
But
Show's
yeah,
over.
but yeah. So that's gonna be it from our side. Glad we can do this in person. This is a lot better in person.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about bad audio quality or
Oh,
bad
yeah.
camera quality or anything.
Yeah,
Your
and
camera
then
everything.
if we've got both laptops right next to each other, there's like no technical errors.
Exactly.
Except for the camera. But
but whatever. Yeah,
that's it. That's it for
about
week
it.
17.
So we'll see you next week. Enjoy the matchups this week. Hopefully your team wins, and week 18.
Unless you're a
coming
Dolphins
up.
fan.
Yeah, unless you're a Dolphins fan, we hope your team loses. We hope your team loses.
Go Ravens.
Ravens flock. Let's go, baby. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Peace.